the whole term holistic is about focusing on the mind body integrating that. And I have a 5 pillar system, which is your mindset, your emotional set, your behavior, your spirituality, and changing your physical. So there's a physical aspect of it too. So I encourage all of my patients during the very first session, I ask them about their lifestyle. What are they eating? How are they starting their day? How much caffeine are they drinking? How much alcohol are they drinking? What's their consumption of sugar? Because some people, especially with anxiety, starting off with caffeine first thing in the morning, they're going to be jittery and stressed out the rest of the day because they're starting off with a huge cortisol spike, and then it just doesn't come down at the level that they need to feel calm and relaxed. And then so they're having trouble sleeping the next day, that night, and then the next morning they're at a deficit. And so just the cycle continues. And so lifestyle is really, really important. So that's your physical, but also getting a blood test. We all need a baseline of all of our sex hormones. We need a baseline of our vitamin D levels, magnesium levels. Maybe some of us have iron deficiency, or maybe I've been borderline anemic since forever. I don't have as much iron, or my iron delivery is not as efficient as somebody else maybe. So I've been borderline anemic my whole life. But having that low ferritin in your system can impact your OCD tendencies. So it can make it worse. So for people that once they regulate that, they can actually be more mentally flexible. And that's my goal with everyone, is to feel empowered by being mentally flexible. Being rigid and having tunnel vision, it's all black and white. It's all good or it's all bad. The world is burning or everybody's happy. And that's not realistic either. There's a gray area in the middle that I want us to focus on, and to be mentally flexible. Like I used to be when I realized that, oh gosh, I do have OCD. It was my black and white thinking, like everything, like I could have a great day and then one little bad thing could happen. And all of a sudden it's as if the whole day was bad. So it was all or nothing thinking, black and white thinking, catastrophizing everything, thinking that the world's going to end. Like I was Chicken Little, just going around over the smallest little thing, acting like it was the worst thing that could happen. For some people, the world is going to end if you get an A- on a test, and that's not reality. And you can't live at that level, at that high level of stress all the time. So calming your system down, but it starts with your how much sleep you're getting the night before. And if you're not going to bed on a timely manner, if you're not getting that 10 to 2 time when our melatonin level is at its peak, when our body can go into that deep coma-like sleep, then you're not resting and repairing. So you're at a deficit the next day. Some people go to bed by drinking and using alcohol to help them sleep. It'll knock you out. Sleeping pills will knock you out, but it suspends you at a level 1 sleep. You're not able to go into that deep coma-like sleep. And that's what we need to completely wash our brain, reset and repair our body. So much happens during sleep that I get so excited to go to sleep. I'm surprised that most people aren't running to bed so that they can get that rest and repair. But that is the first step that we need to focus on and get to bed on time. Take our phone out of the room. Don't be tempted to get up in the middle of the night and doom scroll. Initially, it will take time to create a good sleep hygiene so that your body is naturally going to bed at a certain time and waking up at a certain time. I no longer need an alarm clock. I naturally wake up in the morning, and I don't start off my day with caffeine. So if you are addicted to coffee, I highly recommend that maybe start off with some green tea, a black tea in the morning to get that little bit of caffeine fix. It's not as much as a cup of coffee. It'll create mental alertness, but tea has an amino acid called theanine, and that calms your system down so that you're not focused, you're focused, but you're not jittery and you're not feeling anxious. You're not raising your cortisol levels. And then by around 10 o'clock, have your cup of coffee, but don't overdo it, because for anxious people, that actually makes you more anxious and more reactive to everything happening around you. So that's lifestyle. And then maybe starting off your morning with something savory with protein, carbs, and fiber, so that you're feeding your gut bacteria, you're getting the protein for your muscles and for your brain, you're feeding your brain, you're feeding your gut, you're feeding your muscles. And so your blood sugar stays stable. You're not as reactive to everything that's happening in your day. I can always tell if I skip breakfast or if I end up eating something like a pastry for breakfast. I'm more reactive the rest of the day, but I'm also craving junk food all day long because my blood sugar ends up being unstable. So what else? Exercise, obviously. Those are the natural things that we can all do. And then obviously there's also the supplements and the herbs, tea, tinctures. I did castor oil packs. I did saunas. I did sitz baths. I changed my diet, acupuncture, massage, all of that helped me regulate my system. Understanding how our emotions can contribute to our physical illness is a really important place because so many women, especially, I don't know what happens around late 30s, mid 40s, that the emotional repression that we've carried on all of a sudden comes to a head for a lot of women. So if you've been sexually abused as a child, this is the time that it might come and confront you with it. If you've had other issues of trauma, this is when you're going to have to confront it and deal with it. We might not like it. We might not like because we haven't invested in our health at all up until our 30s and 40s, and all of a sudden now we're at a deficit, and we have to figure out how to put that invest back into our health so that we can reap the benefits of it 50, 60, 70, and beyond.